Alright, we got more news about MapleStory Classic World. Let's go. People are happy, right? Right? Oh no. Well, we didn't get a release date, I guess. And you know what that means, right? This will show him. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate Inkwell's drip right here? My god, my boy was shining there. I also want to take a moment of silence for the purists crying in the comment section, so let's pay tribute to them by playing a song with the smallest violin. Alright, so memes aside a little bit, so let's go ahead and focus on the little things they said in this 30-minute panel, which by the way was too short. It was crazy, but we could just we have to work with what we have, okay? So the first thing I want to say is, it's shit, purists. There it is. There are changes confirmed. A lot of changes. It's not one-to-one the classic experience that you expected. Literally losers out there. Purists are crying. They will never play the game, which is great. I don't want them there. So we confirmed that there's gonna be a bunch of changes. In fact, they call it a revamp rather than a classic one-to-one version. So that is interesting as well, because I think that's the direction that the game should take, because nostalgia will never carry the game. Literally any purists that tell you that everything is fine and nothing should be changed, they literally don't know anything about actually classic experiences. So good that we are on the good side of in the good graces of Nexon, and they are actually gonna make changes, so we won right there. Now, are the changes the best things that they could be? We can discuss them for sure. I mean, we can talk about them, but what I'm happy about is that the game is definitely taking a non-nostalgic 100% direction. So the first thing I want to talk about is some interesting balance changes that they've done so far, and they're not final, so I don't want to just jump into them too much. I will leave a link in the description below that talks about some of them. There is this Reddit post that someone created about the old and the new, so you can kind of have an idea where the game is going and kind of the balance changes they're doing. So basically there are interesting things there, and one of the things that I like the most, because I'm playing Warrior, baby, I'm actually playing Page when the game comes out, is that they remove Endure forever, which is great, from Warriors, and they replace it with this precise strike thing that gives them a lot of accuracy, which is interesting actually, and a critical rate of 5%. So Warriors now will crit from the start, which is kind of interesting. Might sound too overpowered, but let's see. I mean, maybe not as much, so we'll see. And like I said, this is not final, so maybe they start testing it and it's okay, this is bonkers, we're not gonna do this, and they just stop it altogether, which is fine. So but overall, you can check all the changes there and go through them. It's fine, and I don't want to, like I said, because there could be changes, or there will most likely be changes, so you have it there, and we can discuss that actually in the comments if you found something quite interesting regarding the changes as well. So Classic World will have these 3 pillars basically when it comes to development, which is Origins, Evolution, and Beyond, and they talked a little bit about those, but my boy Inkwell didn't know how to explain them at all, so they have to call Nemi to literally explain them. It was crazy, but the explanation that he was provided was kind of interesting. So Origins is basically simple. It's you got your nostalgia stuff, you got your basic stuff that you had before that are actually core for the classic experience. You have the social aspect, and you have the cosmetics. They talked about the cosmetics. I think this is the way that they will monetize it. I don't think they will jump into the bad habit of monetizing bad things, obviously for HP washing, which is something that they completely are not gonna do. So I think cosmetic will be the way for them to monetize, and I think it's actually the best way, because right now when they release this stuff, a lot of people will be buying all of these cosmetics, and why not? And if they do the 90 days expiring stuff, people probably will not care, and they will just buy them, have them there. And they mentioned that they will add additional cosmetic stuff, which is obviously necessary for the game to succeed money-wise. So I definitely like that, and I hope that they just keep it like that, just cosmetic stuff and not pay-to-win related things, like let's say buying a bunch of gachapon stuff and just actual items that would translate to mesos. So I hope they don't jump into that, but we'll see how it goes there. So far, cosmetics only, it's actually pretty good. So the next part is the evolution, which is about the balance changes that I talked about, some upgrades, quality of life changes. It is confirmed that jump down is gonna be a thing. I know some people don't like it. And related to jumping down or not, that's interesting because the server that I normally play, that you guys see me play, that is kind of like a closed beta server that is not out yet, doesn't have jump down, and it actually creates an interesting situation where you have to use the ropes in certain maps. I think jump down kind of breaks certain maps. Like for example, there is a part of the dungeon that in order to continue going down, if jump down didn't exist, you have to kind of go around to like the whole area and then use the portal to get to the, I think, evil eyes or something, or cursed eyes. And if you have jump down, you just literally like jump down and you're on the portal right there, which destroys the map if you think about it. So do I like jump down? In certain maps, no. I think they should balance it. It's like, hey, you cannot jump down here. Like they should block it or something in some way. And in some maps, it's fine. So jump down depends on the map. So yeah, they're doing definitely a lot of quality of life changes. It looks good, actually. I like the fact that they are increasing the resolution, which is great. If you play like some private servers in the past, that was like the bad thing, that the resolution didn't match and it was like all wonky and weird. So I like that they're modernizing the code, which is the good part, because it's not like they're not literally copying and pasting the old code. They're just actually developing with new technologies, and why not, which is totally awesome, actually. Alright, so the third pillar is Beyond, which is quite interesting to me because this literally means that we will have a little bit of Classic Plus from the get-go, which is great. And actually, another plus for the purists, against the purists that is literally it's shit. You're right there not getting the same experience, so probably you will stay in Maple Worlds or something, I don't even know. So you have new areas right there. So I like that because I don't like the idea of re-releasing the same thing and that's it. Like you have like Classic and then, oh, you know what? Before Big Bang, Pink Beam or whatever, let's say release it till there and you call it a day. No, they're actually developing new stuff, which is awesome. And from the get-go, we're getting a little bit of Classic Plus, which is really good. Is this map gonna be good? I don't know. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but we'll see. And what I like about that is that now you would not have a specific like path in your mind from the get-go. Like for example, you're not gonna be like, oh, like from level 10 to level 15, I'm gonna go to kill slimes in the tree of Elena, and then from 15 to 20, I'm gonna go to Pig Beach, and from 20 to 30, I'm gonna do KPQs and go to the dungeon. Like you're not gonna have to do those things like specifically. There's a new map now, and maybe all maps are better, so it's gonna be interesting to explore again the world, even though we kind of know it, but there's new stuff to it. So I really like this part, like quite a lot, actually. One of the parts that I hated the most, unfortunately, is because we didn't have a freaking release date. It's crazy. And what triggers me and what trigger a lot of people is that Igwell literally said we could release it right now if we want to.
Technically, we could launch right now. However, I believe it's more important to reach a level of quality and content that will make our players, Maplers, feel it's truly ready.
And I think I understand why they didn't. Like, in a way, I am like in the fences on that because I understand where they're coming from. It would be good to keep developing, making sure that we get a higher quality product, even though we have to wait a little bit longer. There is a lot of things to consider, like server load and managing the influx of people that would jump in. I understand. However, I also understand that it would be nice to have something there to test a little bit, maybe some kind of demo like that doesn't have like literally everything, like that it's short but it gives everybody an idea on what to expect and why not. So not having any kind of release like thing palpable that we can just like play, even though it's limited, is something that I don't know. So I really didn't like that, unfortunately. It says early 2026 and I don't even know what that means. Is that February? Is that March? Is that April? I don't even know what that means. So, and that is closed beta, so we don't even know what is that gonna look like. Does that mean that it's gonna be people? They said obviously that people that went to MapleCon are gonna like have like access to it, but I don't know, maybe it's going to be like a specific amount of people. Do you have to have a specific level character in the current MapleStory? I don't know. So hopefully we get more information soon about how to apply to the closed beta and why not. But I really didn't like that much, but I understand where they're coming from. So that's all I have to say when it comes to Classic World and the information that we received during MapleCon. All in all, I think the changes are interesting. I think they're taking the game in an interesting and more modern direction that it's very refreshing, and it's not only about nostalgia, which is something that the purists unfortunately will never understand. And that's all I've been saying, is like, if you just create the same game 1-to-1 and don't make any changes, it's not gonna be actually fun. It's gonna die right away. And we've seen classic examples like this where they re-release something, and if it's 1-to-1, people start losing interest because it has a lot of problems. So I really like the changes that they've done. They are interesting. Could they be bad? Maybe, but we have to test it to actually see. And I really hope that if something is bad, like for example, the fact that warriors have a crit now, is that OP? If it is OP, I hope that they listen and say, hey, this is overpowered. Can you just do something about it? And they do something about it. So hopefully they do listen to the community. I also want to say that, like, try to understand where they're coming from when it comes not to release it. I am like you. I would love to have something like December or January or right now. But if you ask me, would I rather have something right now that doesn't work that much and it has a bunch of problems? Like I said, they need to make sure that they manage the servers like properly. I'm telling you, there's gonna be thousands of players that are like joining in. So do they have the capacity to take them all in? So and having the experience be fun, because if you jump in and the experience is just like super laggy and not fun at all, the critique that they're gonna receive is too much. And at the same time, you will not be able to kind of criticize them, because they will just say, oh, this is in development, it's just wait a little bit. Oh, this is we're gonna take care of it, don't worry about it. And giving feedback would be hard if they know the things that they have to fix. So in my opinion, if you give me an option, I would definitely say, sure, let's just wait for something better. Why not? Should they have given at least like a release date? Yes, because it seems like with this closed beta, let's say March, for example, then what? You have an open beta June and then release September or October or something. So it's gonna be like a year for the release. That would be a bummer for sure. So I hope that all of this testing that they're doing, and why not the closed beta, like all of these things come online like fast and they don't take too much time. Like let's say they do closed beta in March, in April open beta right away. So things like that would be actually pretty cool. So let's see how they take it. Let's see how it goes. So something to be excited about for sure. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you like just the content that I create, like I said, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.